Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more gut feeling stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I was 22, had just split with the father of my kids, and had spent the day visiting family. The kids and I got home and the house was dark. I put the car in the garage and left my two youngest in the car seats while I quickly ran inside to go to the toilet. I sent my oldest upstairs. The living room, kitchen, and bedrooms were upstairs as it was an old beach house to turn on the lights and get into pajamas. I walked through the hall downstairs because I was busting to pee, and while I sat in the dark in the toilet doing my thing, I smelled cigarettes. The windows were shut. I looked around and couldn't figure out where the smell was coming from. I poked my head around the corner and I can see the door to the yard is open and there's a cigarette burning on the floor. I immediately knew someone was in my house. I just didn't know where, and I had just set my kid upstairs into the dark on his own. I ran like lightning to the stairs and yelled out his name, "Get down here right now." And it was absolutely dead silent. I didn't know what was going on and I was torn between running up there or running to the car to make sure the other kids were safe. After a moment, the oldest kid came racing down the stairs and we got in the car and locked the doors. We called the police and we even had 7 police cars arrive within minutes, armed with semi-automatics and riot gear. It turned out my ex had broken in while I was gone and left the doors open, and a homeless person got into the house. The house was absolutely trashed and everything had been damaged. My kid took so long coming downstairs because he got up there, saw the mess, and didn't know what had happened. We moved out the next day. Yo, that's so scary. That's actually so scary. The fact that she knew someone was in the house with them and her kid is upstairs. Yo. My heart would actually be beating so freaking fast. Well, I hope the freaking ex got arrested as well because he literally just broke in and he just endangered his kids. What the hell? I was at a party at my then best friend's house. She lived with her brother and another close friend of theirs. They invited a good amount of people, around 50, but they were all people that we knew. It was a lot of fun. Everyone that was outside was playing games or inside mingling, making food, etc. A few hours later, I came into the house after playing a few rounds of beer pong and cornhole outside. At a quick glance, I remember thinking, wow, it's packed in here. Then I realized I don't recognize anyone in this house anymore. I walked around the house a little bit more, still trying to find anyone I knew, and came up empty-handed. I had an awful feeling that if I stayed there, it wasn't going to be good. I managed to find my best friend, tell her I was going to head home for the night, and gave her a hug, grabbed my keys from her bedroom, and walked to my vehicle. 5 minutes into driving home, my phone was blowing up. I stupidly thought I was being called to make a beer run for everyone, so I ignored my phone, made it to my house, and went to bed. The next morning, my phone rang again, and I picked it up this time. Turns out right after I left, a huge group of people none of us knew showed up to the house and started breaking windows and throwing bottles. My best friend, her boyfriend, her brother, and their roommate tried to calm everyone down and asked the strangers to leave. They were not having it. Within the group of strangers was a group of girls. I'm assuming they're girlfriends or something. They grabbed my best friend by her hair and dragged her into the front yard and jumped her. Her boyfriend tried to run out to stop them and get her, but the men grabbed him and tried to jump him as well. My best friend's brother, the big fella, grabbed 2 of them off my friend's boyfriend and tossed them into some rocks. 2 of the strangers put out guns and began firing. 1 bullet hit the boyfriend in the head, luckily just grazing his side. Another round went into a neighboring home, and another bounced off of something and hit one of the girls jumping my friend. Yo. Everyone inside of the house ran, then the strangers ran, leaving my friends in the front yard. My best friend had so many bruises, cuts, bruised ribs, and had a bald patch on her head from them pulling her hair out. She ended up being fine after going to urgent care. Her boyfriend too, with a grazed wound, and her brother just had some scratches on him. Their roommate had some bruises from people inside trying to run out of the house in a panic. To this day, 8 years later, we don't know who those people were and no one ever came clean. The cops didn't find enough evidence to make any arrests or issue any warrants. That's crazy. What, they just came randomly? Or like, were they like a friend's friend? So like everyone kept introducing their friends. They were like, oh yeah, I'm at this party, come. And then the other people were like, I'm at this party, come. And then maybe strangers outside were like, ooh, this place is packed, let's just go in and have fun. Wow. That is scary. Good thing this person left. That's actually really smart. If you're at a party and you don't know anyone, yes, get out. When I was looking for a new place to rent in a few years back, I found something not far from the house I was leaving, and to my surprise, the front door opened to reveal someone I knew from school. They were a few years younger and didn't remember me. As we were talking, I started to get this sense of danger. I couldn't explain it. Everything the guy was saying sounded reasonable and the price for the room was about average for the time, but something about him was very unsettling. This guy was skinny as, and normally I wouldn't feel threatened by someone with his build, but there was something that was setting off alarm bells. It was at its worst when I was being shown the room and had my back to this guy. It was like I could see his eyes boring into my skull or something. I maintained a polite facade but left shortly after that, claiming I had a few other places to check out that day. About 18 months later, I was driving past and the place had police tapes all over it. I tried to find out what had happened online, but couldn't find anything. To this day, I hesitate to call out to people I remember from that time if I see them. And the above memory is a reminder it's been many years and I have no idea what they're like now. True. Even if you know someone from before, yeah, they could be a different person now. How scary. So they never actually found out what happened, but they know something happened because there were like police signs all over it. Maybe they murdered someone. When I was about 13, my little sister and I were deemed old enough to see a movie on our own. My mum was in the mall working out in the gym and told us to get her when the movie finished. About 15 minutes into the movie, a man with a backpack sits in the seat next to me. The theater was almost empty, max 10 people total. Well, my sister and I were both overwhelmed with a bad feeling, but we didn't think to just move. We were frozen. After about an hour, the man gets up and walks out, but he leaves his backpack. Right after he left, my sister and I ran to get our mum. Unbeknownst to us, an older couple in the theater also got a bad feeling and called the cops, not even getting a manager. They took his information from his bag and he was wanted for kidnapping and sexual assault. What? Why did he leave his bag there? To get caught? You know what I mean? Like, what? If that's all that was in his bag, why did he leave his bag? I'm so confused. Like, did he forget it? Or like what? I thought there was going to be a freaking bomb or something, right? But he left his bag just to get caught. When I was in college, I was waiting at my boyfriend's apartment for him to get home from work. My boyfriend's roommate was sitting on the couch, rocking back and forth and rubbing his hands on his knees and just giving off a very bad vibe. I immediately start getting a fight or flight feeling in the pit of my stomach and he asks, is it me or is there a lot of sexual tension in here? I immediately said, it's you, and bolted. He's now served almost 10 years of a 40-year sentence. I won't go into detail of the horrendous things he did to those poor victims. Yo, that's messed up. If you feel something is off, definitely just get out of there. Remove yourself from what you're feeling is off. This happened to my cousin. She was driving her car with her toddler in the back and approaching a corner. Suddenly, her little girl starts yelling, "Mummy, slow down!" just over and over, really upset. My cousin wasn't speeding, but she slowed down. And as she went around the corner, there was someone passing a car coming towards her on the other side. On her side of the road, narrowly missing her car. If she hadn't slowed down, they would have been involved in a head-on collision. Seriously, kids know everything. Yes, I believe that. Kids are like your little guardian angels, for sure. I stopped in a small town and bought a watermelon off the back of a truck from a local farmer. I had never met him before and he had noticed that I had a haircut. I had just the previous day but had never met him before. He then asked if I still had the hair that had been cut off, as he makes ropes out of people's hair. He went on and grabbed his human hair rope out of his truck to show me and kept asking if I could get my hair for him. Are those his victims' hairs? Because what the frick? What the hell? And he's been literally like eyeing on this kid for a long time if he knew they got a freaking haircut. Yo, that's scary. I hope this person told their parents because seriously, that man actually needs to get arrested. I mean, I guess it's actually harmless if that's what he actually does, but like that's a bit sus. Too sus. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are, and as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!